Welcome to the Sports Card Talk Show. With Kevin Anderson and Lorn Walker.
Welcome to episode 108 of the Sports Card Talk Show. Got Friday Night Lights interview coming on tonight.
Yeah, we've got Manny from Lkd Treasures, that's spelled Lkd Treasures, joining us tonight.
Yeah, on Instagram and YouTube. He did a repack pretty recently, wasn't it? I feel like, and
God, like 4 or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was
the talk of Instagram. It
seemed like.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, put your order in now, and he's like, whoa. Yeah. So I think it's coming out. Part 2 is coming out pretty soon. So we'll have to give a try at getting one, I guess.
How did he fare in you guys' Nico?
I think he ended up number 3 or 4.
Yeah, I know you guys were both in the running for that win.
Yeah, there was like 4 in the running.
Yeah,
4. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Nico did a great job on that.
Yeah, they had to bring in a second
judge. So Lauren likes to do trivia, so we got this. You got to know Minnesota trivia. We'll do a couple questions real quick before we dial them up. What Wild goaltender set a franchise record for most wins in a season when he tallied 37 in 2008 to 2009?
I'm going to say Nicholas Backstrom.
Yep. What team won in overtime 76-69 to end the Golden Gophers season in the 2007 NCAA Final Four? That one's tough.
Like the men's Golden Gophers?
Yep.
And what couldn't have been there? Oof. I'm going to say Kentucky.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
What North Star forward died as a direct result of a head injury suffered in a game played January 13th, 1969? Boy, that'd be stretching it if you know that one.
I have no clue.
Bill Masterton.
Never even heard of him.
Masterton. What 4-time NBA champ as a player with the Lakers went 32 and 132 as a Timberwolves head coach from 2009 to 2011? You know that.
Good old Clark Kent, Superman.
Yeah.
Kurt Rambis.
Yep.
3 out of 4, man.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Ooh.
That one was pretty tough. Man, that was a stretch. I'll put that one at the bottom so you don't get it.
I didn't even know the North Stores were around in 1969.
Awesome, man.
I wasn't even born yet. That doesn't count.
Oh, too funny. Well, should we dial them up? Oh, ring, ding, dong. All right, we got Manny on the line. How you doing today, Manny?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Manny.
Face reveal, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that mug.
Yeah.
Help me out just in case one day.
Oh, man. We've enjoyed that. We've been the spot for a couple people, so we really appreciate that people are willing to come on and do that. You know, that's fun.
I was very excited to get on this. I love what you guys do. You know, interviewing people all around the world and the hobby and all this distancing stuff. So this is like perfect. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and we enjoy it and getting a chance to meet everybody. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I saw a lot of people that that do videos in your channel, like Nico, Burke Knowledge, all those guys are doing the interviews. R&B. I didn't even know it was R&B when I first. I was like, is that R&B? I said,
yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome when I see Eloy in there and all these people. It was awesome. Yeah. Awesome stuff you did.
Oh man, thanks. So speaking of the hobby and collecting, why don't you touch a little bit on your history and your journey in collecting?
Wow, yeah, it's pretty much similar to like everybody else's story. I collected when I was younger. It first started when my dad used to collect. Rest in peace. He passed away 6 years ago. But we moved into a place. I always played sports. I always did basketball, football, baseball. Baseball was always my favorite. So we moved into a place, into a house in somewhere, and I guess the guy forgot like his stuff in the his storage like garage or whatever. And we go in there, we're looking through stuff, you know, just to see if anything's useful. And he finds a Mickey Mantle card. And we're like, I didn't know who Mickey. I was like maybe 10 years old. I didn't know. You know, he knew, and he was like, "Oh my god!" So he ended up putting it away with his Roberto Clemente card. I think he had like a 1957 Roberto Clemente or something. He ended up passing down to me later on, and then I started getting into sports. I was playing a lot more basketball, a lot more baseball. And I started wanting to collect all my players. So around like 92, 93 or so, the big franchise with the Orlando Magics came through. They had big Shaquille O'Neal there, the Superman, and I ended up wanting. I was like, "Oh man, I gotta go find this." Now down the road, it was Mary's. I remember still to this day. Her name was Mary. This little old lady, very old lady, maybe like 60 years old. She owned a little hobby shop, little card shop, and I used to go there and like for like $2, I would buy like cards, you know, like a pack of cards, 1992 Fleer Ultra or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I started collecting cards. And then she had all kind of different years, but basketball was really what I started with. And I started collecting basketball, and then I got into baseball a little more. And then I think it was 94 or so. That's when the duo came in with Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal. And I mean, I fell in love with Penny Hardaway's fan because his game was very similar to, you know, one of the greatest, which is Jordan. You know, his game was very similar to him. So I started adapting to him as I started using his moves with the fadeaway and all that in my game when I play basketball. So I collected many years for that. And then obviously when I turned like, I think it was 14 or 15, I brought my collection over to my friend's house, and I used to just keep it at his house, and we used to just, you know, trade on here, trade there, you know, talk to other people and trade there. Because back then we didn't have like over the phone internet, you know, we had to actually go to people's houses, you know, and look at their stuff. And sad news was his house burnt down.
Oh, no way!
I mean, I had a good collection.
Yeah.
He had a really good collection. Like, but in all of us together, we had like a monster collection, and it burned down. And I just, you know, I tried to start it back up, but by then it was just way too much. And then, you know, obviously I got into like, you know, when I was in high school, coming out of high school, you know, girls and all that fun and partying, you know. So I just got away from it. But I moved to PA around 2000, in the year 2000, right before the whole 9/11 stuff. I ended up moving to PA, and I was there, and then that's when when I was leaving, because when I heard the whole 9/11 and stuff like that, when I was leaving PA to come back to New York, there was, you know, a couple of years have passed. In 2003, that's when the big LeBron James came, you know, King James, and that's when I started collecting King James again, because I just had a feeling that this guy was going to be talented. I was like, he's coming out of high school just like Kobe Bryant. The guy was big bodied, you know, he is a monster. So I just say, this guy's going to be good. I guarantee you this guy's going to be good. So again, I had the hunch, and I was in Walmart, and so, you know, I'm buying blaster boxes like crazy, you know, like collecting a lot of LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, obviously the same year, Carmelo Anthony, those guys. And also I picked up some baseball here and there, because baseball's always been like where my heart is, you know, when it comes to sports. So once like 4 or 5 years, I just kept on buying little things like that from eBay, and then I stopped again because I had my son was born in 2003, so like I just really focused on that. My oldest, which I have 4, but my oldest now, it was my first one at that time. He was born, so I had like take a time off and concentrate more on family and stuff like that. And then I stopped collecting, and then I started. This is where it goes on and off a lot. So I had a whole bunch of LeBron. I had like maybe 10, 15 of those rookie drafts from Topps. I had the Topps Chrome one. I had the auto of him and Carmelo Anthony. I mean, it was. I had a nice collection.
Yeah.
So me and the it didn't work out with me and the my ex-wife. So I'm a nice guy, I guess, you know. I get and I really regret this. I said, take this binders, take these boxes, and take these cards that could eventually be worth a lot of money one day for you guys, you know. And it's always like a sign of you, you know, like to always remember me and stuff like that. I mean, I always see them now, you know, I always come to get them. But I at that time, I gave them these cards. And then one day, oh my God. One day they come here and I see the binder, right? I'm like, why is the binder with like crazy cards that I have here? And then I open it up. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon cards. I'm like, where are the cards that were in here? They're like, oh, we don't know. We just took them out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So all the LeBron James and all the Carmelo Anthony's and I think I even had like Alex Rodriguez rookie cards in there and Derek Jeter's. I mean, a whole bunch. Manny Ramirez. I don't know if you remember Manny Ramirez.
Oh yeah,
a whole bunch of cards in there. Yeah, and they got all destroyed.
Dude, you've had two great collections.
I did twice.
Wiped out.
I had awesome years to collect, you know.
Yeah.
And then I shoot pool, so I play a lot of pool. That's like a second hobby of mine. Actually, like my first hobby. I really love shooting pool. And a friend of mine comes in one day, and this was like last year or so. And he's like, "Oh man, check this out." And I'm like, "Okay," you know. And he shows me a card, and it's a Baker Mayfield National Treasures rookie card, right? Now, the beginning of everywhere, you know, Baker Mayfield was like, "Oh my God, I get crazy amount of money," and I'm like, "What card is that?" Because I've never seen cards like that before. You know, right. The whole game now is like completely different. You know, I had autos with big patches in them and all this stuff, and I was just like, "Wow, that's awesome!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I started breaking, and he got his in a break, and a whole bunch of different stuff. It's like a different world now." And that's when I was like, "Let me start looking into this," you know, and that's how I got back into collecting again. It just sucked me right back in, and I love it. I love every minute of it.
Yeah. So are you a pool shark, or do you just play for?
That's a secret. We can't.
Said all you needed to say, right?
Pool players we don't let you know.
not a secret anymore, Manny.
My backer, because if you're my backer, then we know we could talk. But yeah, you know, pool is like by far one of my favorite hobbies to do. Nice. I love the game. Yeah, I've always been around sports. You know, that's what I love. You know, I didn't ever play football. I mean, I played as like, you know, like yard kids. You know, like yeah. Like I had when I was young. If you've seen the movie The Sandlot, I mean, it was always like a basic copied movie of my life because that's exactly what we used to do. You know, we used to go in the field and the ball would go over the fence, and it was like somebody's yard, and we couldn't go into that yard. It was. But football, we used to, you know, never got really into football, except this year. That's because to me, collecting football is a little easier than it is trying to follow these prospects in baseball. It's like, forget about it. You know, it's just way too many. Way too many prospects.
I purely open baseball just for fun. I'm not chasing any prospects. If I hit a good card, great. I'm not trying to chase anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I do every once in a while. I dabble in it, you know. But I'm a big Mets fan. So,
sorry,
me, like, I don't want any other team. It's like Lorn. Like, you know, Lorn is like, it's like I don't want the San Francisco 49ers or Green Bay Packers. I want Vikings, right? So to me, it's like when I collect baseball, it's like I only really just want the Mets players. Like I don't really care about, you know, anything else. So that's why, like, it's kind of hard, especially with the Mets the way they are. I started doing baseball because I really love the sport. But I mean, you had that year with you know, Pete Alonso and Jacob deGrom in the team. And good luck trying to get a Mets for cheap, you know, somewhere because it was going for like $300, you know, $200, you know, just to get the Mets. And I was like, oh, yes, I'm a Mets fan. I ain't that big of a Mets fan. I'd rather do
It's
what
so
Lorn does
funny,
when it
like-
comes to the Mets.
It's so funny when the Mets actually have like a good player like Harvey a few years ago.
Oh.
The mania that surrounds that team is just crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's New York.
Yeah, I know.
It's tough to play here. You know, it's not easy. I mean, when, like you said, when Harvey came out, the Dark Knight, you know,
Yep.
he was like, I was like, wow, who is this guy? You know, and then the next year was just like, whoa, who is this guy?
It's like Matt Harvey. He's as big as LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Like that's just the way it is with the Mets teams. It's like Pete Alonso is like everybody knew his name like halfway through the season last year, and I never heard of him before that.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, the Mets, $40, yeah, I'll buy them. And next thing you know, Pete Alonso was, you know, hitting 53 home runs, and you're like,
right.
how did it go from 40 to 200? Like,
Yeah,
it was, you know, but it's a good thing, you know, for the Mets. They have a lot of stuff going this year for them, you know, if we ever get back to baseball soon, which I'm like going nuts over, you know, because that's one thing I do love watching is baseball. To a lot of people, it's boring. You know, they fall asleep, you know, but to me, it's like the greatest game ever, you know.
I used to like watching baseball, but now I like I'll turn on a game and I'm sleeping within an inning. You know?
No, yeah, I see that a lot. But to me, it's like the only true game, you know, like the true sport, because there's no time, you know, it can go on forever, you know, and it's not a lot of refs involved. Anything with a whistle, kind of like it seems controlled, you know, to me. So, like football, first, you know, you got calls coming out of nowhere. You're like, what? The guy just touched him. How does he get, you know? And the next thing you know, it's pass interference. You know, Brady taking air, you know, deflating balls, you know, and they're like, oh no, that's not deflated, you know. So, you know, when it comes to like baseball, to me, it was like more the true sport, because you know the umps could get a strike call wrong, but that's the beauty of the game. Is so, you know, you just never know, especially with like the sign calling and the Astros now with the cheating. To me, it's like, yeah, it is cheating, but it's really not cheating, you know, because like you can know where a curveball is coming, but how's that curveball going to curve? Is it going to like, you know, like curve all the way through? Is it going to stay flat? Where's it going to be in the plate? What kind of control? So just putting a bat on it is still a hard thing to do, knowing that it's coming. You know?
So hard. I can't remember which player said it, but he's like, tell you what, let's play that series over again and let me know what pitch is coming every time. He goes, and I guarantee you to be a different outcome.
Yeah, it is a little bit of advantage, but still putting the bat on it is still a little hard.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You don't know if he's throwing you a 95 mile per hour fastball or 89 mile per hour fastball. You just don't know. You know? So that's why I like the sport a little better when it comes to like all the other sports and stuff like that. But I collect football, which is weird.
I've been catching up on some of your videos, and I'm like, well, let's let's watch your first one. And well, it was funny because it was Prestige, and Lorn and I actually box warred. Well, we one box and we just split the packs. That was a great product, but man, you pulled a 101 out of that bad boy.
Yes. My first box too. It was great.
I know.
I feel like you, Kevin. Wait, is your last name Clover? Because you're the luckiest person. Are you Irish? Because you're lucky, bro.
I know, man. I'm hoping the luck continues. But I was going to talk about that, and is it like a lot of people where you're like, well, I'm going to open it anyways. I might as well, you know, dabble in this YouTube thing, or what went into the decision? Is that kind of
it all started when I started wanting to make videos. There was a guy. A lot of people gonna think it was Packers Card 87 because you know he's like one of the biggest YouTubers out there and doing that, but it wasn't. It was actually he's a big YouTuber as well. I think it was Dave's DC32.
Yeah.
He was opening up cards, and I'm like, what's he doing? And then obviously he had a little pet. You know, he has a Sunday, I think he calls them, and he's like flinging the fillers at him, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so awesome, you know. And just the way he talked about the product and stuff like that. And then second was then I got more into Packers 87 cards, and then it became Vikings 95. I started watching him a lot.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of like repacks and stuff like that. So that's probably one. He's probably one of the first one to inspire me to do a repack, because I started watching his stuff. And then I'm like, man, I could do this too, you know? Like, I'd rather open it up live, you know, and see people and share it with the world, because that's the way it is now, you know, than just me. Like, there's no fun in me to open it. I was like, oh, wow. And nobody's here to see the wow, this is great.
Look at this card.
Wow, look at this. Oh, and then I show my girl's like, who's that? You know, if I show my girl, like, she's not going to know. So I'm not gonna be like,
Right.
So like, I just wanted to share that excitement that I get, you know, when I see that. Now, my first video was like, wow. So I was nervous.
You know, I was
very nervous.
A really good job. You know, I started a channel a while back, and it's nerve-wracking doing it.
Oh yeah,
especially the first one. But I thought you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
You opened a lot of product. You know,
yeah, a lot of
you opened a lot.
I was lucky that Target had them. I was like, wow. Every time I went there, they had a mega box. I was like, I'm grabbing these. These are great.
Yeah.
And 2 autos for like $40. I mean, you couldn't beat that.
No.
And it was great. I'm very happy I did it. And I got the 1-on-1. And that's what happened was I started seeing people actually open them up. And I'm like, wow, he got a 1-on-1 out of his. And another one had another 1-on-1. I was like, yo, this stuff brings 1-on-1s. So I went and grabbed myself a box, and there you go, for the very first one, 1-on-1. So
yeah,
it was very cool. So I wish I could find them now. They're really hard to find now, though.
Yeah. So you had mentioned Vikings 95 opening, some repacks, and that kind of got the wheels turning. Maybe that kind of inspired you. I don't know if you want to touch base a little bit on your repack that you've been doing and that's open.
Yeah, my treasure boxes. Yeah. Well, when I first started, I said it was bad. I mean, I don't think the product was bad. I think I got a lot of mixed reviews because I didn't go the right way around it. I didn't go the right way about it. But I sent one to Capital P Cards. And here's this cool brother. He pulls out a Dwayne Haskins out of 20 auto that I ended up having. And it got great views, you know. So I sold a couple there. And then I sent one to Vikings 95, and it got like somewhat like mixed reviews, you know, and no sales were coming through. So I decided to like open them up in my channel and say, hey, you know, these are the boxes that were left. This is what you could have gotten in the treasure box. And then I remastered it. And then I started going about what do the buyers want? You know, what do, you know, the people want to see? What do I want to see as if I was purchasing my own, you know? And I started, you know, coming up with ideas. That's why I started including like 3 different hobby packs in it, you know, putting a better lineup up. That's why I have the Kyler Murrays and the Drew Locks and Stidhams and stuff like that. And when I put those in there, I didn't think they were that great, you know, like in value. But then, you know, Tom Brady decides to quit, you know, I mean, not quit, but decides to go over. And now Stidham's cards went completely up in price. And Drew Lock being named, you know, the starter. So in the end, I ended up putting like a lot of potential cards in there that I didn't even know it were going to be worth a lot of money, you know. So
right.
It ended up to be a great product.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, so once I launched the remastered, and I think I sent some to MT Sportscards, shout out to him, Matt, and BC Breakers. I mean, once they opened their product up, that's when people started catching on. They were like, oh, wow, this is nice. That's when he opened up the Patrick Mahomes out of 25. Even though it didn't look like a good hit, but I was like, you should really look that card up because it'll surprise you how good it is. Yeah. And you know, BC had the hot box with the jersey. I don't even think he knew who Andre Reed was. He didn't get that excited over wearing a signed jersey, you know?
Yeah.
So and then I think a couple got more into it. Nico bought. I think he got convinced because at first he wasn't convinced. It's hard to convince Nico. He was a tough one. And then Nico opened his up, and Brian B-Pats, he ended up buying one of mine, and he loved it, you know. And he ended up getting he was the one that actually helped me out a lot because he's the one that got Nico into it, Eloy, and Burke into it, and they all ended up buying a couple of my treasure packs, and it turned out very well.
Yeah. I was just a little bit short on that one. I'm like, I'm gonna have to try and get it on the next one. So
Series 2, yeah, Series 2 is good.
I think it's great that you have the transparency of like showing it on a camera before, so people know what's.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it. You know, even if I don't show some of the hits, I also show like throughout my channel. If you're watching the videos, you'll start seeing cards up there, and then you're like, oh wow, that's a nice 1-on-1. And the, what is, like the shield ones and stuff like that. So once they start seeing that, it's like they know once they see this checklist, like, oh, that was that card that was in that video. So that's that's how I show them off a little bit, because I don't like showing you the card, because then once you get it, you kind of like, oh yeah, this is the card I was looking for. Like if I just tell you what the card is and then you see it and you're like, oh my god, look how nasty this card is. I think it's more exciting that way.
Sure.
But every once in a while, yeah, I like showing them off here. Like, oh, this is the 1-on-1 that's going in. Stuff like that. People see it, So yeah. I had to be very open about it, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like the repacks, because I do repacks in my channel a lot, and I like that. I like to be open, like, hey, this is what you're gonna get. Not a big surprise. I'm not into like the surprise one. You're like, oh yeah, you could get something, but you might not get nothing. I don't know. I don't dabble in those. I don't know. It scared me. I don't know if you saw my pay dirt video, but I was scared, man. And I open up the pay dirt one, and I see a 1987 Topps bubblegum, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? This is really bad. So I had to really tweak the product I want to. When I brought mine out, to actually show people, hey, this is the cards that are going to go in it, and once I seal it, that's it. I have no idea what's in there now. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's good to be like you said, it's good to be transparent when it comes to those stuff. Absolutely.
So what doesn't go into the repack, i.e. your PC?
Yeah, that's it. Just Deebo.
PC?
Deebo, yeah. So my PC, the way it started with me with my PC, it came down to I pick them because of names. Deebo is such a cool name. It was like a thing, for me. I was like, Deebo. I remember Deebo from Friday, back, cool hood movie, Friday.
Yeah.
Deebo just stuck out with me. I was like, I love Deebo, and I'm gonna collect this guy. I'm gonna start collecting. And he was. I don't know what I did, but I picked him out, and his cards were like $5 for an RPA. I mean, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Like, Deebo, right? And I love his signature too. His auto was like Deebo. He writes it out, And next thing you know, this guy's Super Bowl. He has a Super Bowl record now. Like he and now it's like his price jumped up the roof. Now I can't even get a Deebo for $5 no more. I was like, I kind of wish he never did, but I was like, man, why do you have to go to the Super Bowl? But it turned out to be a great pick for me. And this year I picked Peoples, Donovan Peoples-Jones, because of his name, pretty much. And he got drafted to. Sorry, my voice. I'm losing it. Hold on.
All right.
And he got drafted with the Browns. And he's like a punt returner, wide receiver, kind of like Dante Hall back in the days for Kansas City.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I like him. I like his name, Peoples. So I'm going to decide to collect him now. So most of my collection, besides the Mets, I collect Mets because it's my team. Like, that's my team. I just collect the Mets. But most other sports, I collect the players. Like, more of a player. PC, yeah. So for basketball, I can't dabble too much in basketball this year because it's just crazy prices. It's like $400 for an optic box is a little too much for me, That's a little steep.
Well, if people want to rack you, they just have to go dig through their boxes of cards and find like cool names.
Yeah. I love the cool names, man.
That's awesome. I swear there's a guy out there named Scooby. That.
I don't think they come out with one yet. That'll be a good one though. I'll tell you what, there's a guy named Scooby and some kind of draft down the road. I'm gonna collect them.
That's awesome. Michael Jackson's kid gets into sports and is, the blanket kid, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I don't know. I love people's names, and I always feel like, if their name is great, they're destined to be great or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I always like to pick, like, and basketball has always been Penny Hardaway because I've always loved the way he played. To me, he was like the greatest player. I mean, I know he wasn't. He had a short career, and due to injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when he was in Orlando, I mean, the Magics were so great, at that time, and I love watching him and I love mimicking his game. So that's why I used to collect a lot of Penny Hardaway.
It's funny whenever you brought that up earlier, it actually brought me back to that time. And you had Penny, and you had Shaq, and you had Nick Anderson on that team.
Oh, Nick Anderson.
And you go to the finals, and you're thinking, this is the next, dynasty team. Yeah, because Michael was, I believe he was gone that first year, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he no, he was still playing, and I think he left them on 96 or so. I believe that was his last time he played. I can't really remember. And then he came back. But yeah, I remember because Shaquille O'Neal used to have he wanted to be the greatest. Shaquille O'Neal thought he was the greatest. And I remember Jordan having to come back, and Shaquille O'Neal took over. Shaquille O'Neal took over the league. He was like the biggest name out there. And then all of a sudden Jordan came back and kind of took away his little flow. And
yeah,
Shaq was actually pretty pissed. Shaq is a weird character sometimes.
A little side note about Nick Anderson. I just missed out on one. One of my little side PCs that I'm liking to do is old players that have great autographs. He has a great autograph.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah. And I didn't tell Lauren this was an eBay 101. I was trying to win it, so when I opened it, I could show him it was a 10 of 10 opulence. It was a great looking card.
Lauren, you want to see a true 101?
Dude, I've seen it. I want it.
Wait, let me blow you up a little bit here.
You won't let me have it.
There, shut off now, Manny. I just made you full screen.
Woo! 101. I can't believe I won this card. That was an awesome win.
You better put that in Kevin's box.
He's going to Series 3. Series 3 will be in there for sure for you guys.
Wow.
Trifecta.
You'll have to, if somebody wins that, we better. I want to know who won it.
Oh yeah,
I like that
open live.
Yeah,
that'll be open on YouTube. You'll see it. You'll see it out there.
Yeah.
I love that card, man.
I remember Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott.
Dennis Scott.
Who was the man? I think it was Scott Skiles. Yeah, I believe. Yeah. I don't know if he was the manager then or he was playing still for them. But I remember. I remember the Magic very well. It was a lot of fun back in the days. Basketball now is a little different now though. Now it's completely different. I love to get into it. I think Zion's going to be great. I think if he can stay healthy, he's going to be great. But once these basketball players, once their knees give out, that's it. And there's no career after that.
Right.
It's tough to find the Jordans now. The LeBron, LeBron's been playing, 19 years. So I think he's probably one of the closest to be like Jordan, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He was, if you look at Kobe Bryant and you look at Jordan, their games were literally the same, which was insane to me,
I definitely think Kobe's game is definitely way closer to Michael's than LeBron's is.
Oh yeah.
Different. And just the way he evolved, just like Michael did, develop that fadeaway jump shot.
Yeah. It was like I remember I watched the video where they had Kobe Bryant and him comparing them those same moves, the same fadeaway, like you just said, the same posture and the shot. I mean, he was truly like one of the closest to Jordan. A lot of people compare LeBron to Jordan, but I can't. Like LeBron, you know who I like LeBron compared to? Magic. If you look at Magic Johnson and LeBron James, they're very similar with the passing and the flair and the dunking. And he's not really a big scorer. Like Magic wasn't a big scorer. He was more into getting more of the team involved. And that's who I compare LeBron James to, is Magic Johnson.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with you there. Yeah. And I just like the that assassin mentality, that both Jordan
the Black Mamba mentality,
yeah. I mean,
they were killers. I mean, like you said, that was their court. You're stepping in, no matter, even if Kobe wasn't, away, playing away. As soon as he stepped into that court, that was his court. I was like, hey, no, I know this is your home, but right now this is my court, and I love that about Kobe.
Yeah,
he was very tough. Like Shaq, even in his interviews, Shaq said he was a very tough player because he worked so hard in his game, and to have that kind of mentality is like that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I was not a fan of Jordan or Kobe, but now that they're both gone, I absolutely love what the drive and that you just don't, you watch NBA games nowadays and the regular season, like players just don't seem to care. Back in those days, those guys wanted to win every single regular season game. They wanted those guys to know that come playoff time, we're gonna do this to you in the playoffs.
Really hard, that's what. Like basketball now, like I see no defense at all.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen people just like not even contesting their shots. Like back then, like people would just run out and go crazy. Now it's just like, oh, he's gonna shoot him.
If it's still
a hand up there,
if it's still a game when there's 5 minutes left on the clock, then you'll see some defense.
Yeah, then you're like, oh my God, we have a chance. Let's go. It's everything's changed, but you know what? Even the hobby has changed a lot, and I think the hobby changed for better though than it did for worse. I think basketball and these other sports are changing. Now with baseball, with the call reviews, you didn't have that back then. You didn't have, like, if it was a foul ball and the ump said, hey, it's a foul ball, that's it. It was a foul ball. Like there's no reviewing it. And so it kind of, a lot of things have changed.
I think the coolest thing that just from, obviously you having your channel and us having our channel, the social interaction you have with other people that are collecting, that, you don't have your friend down the street that you can ride your bike to his house to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not like that anymore. But
I mean, we're making friends every week, every day or whatever, picking up new friends all the time through the social networking.
That's the thing. It's a community. It's almost like it literally feels like a community. It feels like literally you're living down the road from me. That's what it really feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like I could actually ride my bike to your house.
Right.
Hey,
Jump on information.
I love how close it brings us, And I love hearing, like, I don't know much about Vikings, but watching your show, I got to learn a lot about the Vikings, like you just did one about Anthony Barr not too long ago, right? I was like, what the hell's Anthony Barr? But, like I just watched the show. I was like, oh, okay. So I see how much Anthony Barr means to you. And obviously when I see like other people like B-Pats with his Colts, and I see Matt's with his Cincinnati Bengals, and he starts getting into the history of it. Like I that's what I love about watching all you guys' videos and stuff like that, because I get to learn more and more about teams that I didn't even know about, like know about a lot of like the Vikings. I didn't know. Too much about the Vikings, but I love watching you guys, and I love seeing everything you guys have about the Vikings. And now I'm like, yo, the Vikings are actually pretty cool, man. I root on for every team in our football, but I'm gonna root you guys on.
Thanks, man.
For the Super Bowl. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for you guys, but
it will be,
guys.
Well, I think that's a good spot We want to be respectful of your time, and we're going to have you back on, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Love to have you on again.
Gotta do a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use my treasure boxes reloaded for a battle, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going down for sure.
Oh yeah. I'll be the judge.
Yep. Awesome, dude.
I think I'm gonna do a side bet. I got my money on you. You're winning everything.
We might have to edit this out of the videos.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna Kevin wins.
I'm like, they're gonna be like, yeah, Kevin can't be in this one.
I know. I work at the casino. I'm a dealer. I'm a blackjack dealer at the casino, so I know a good odds when I see one. I'm putting my money on you.
Awesome. All right, Manny, if you want to hang on 1 second, we'll bring it to a close and we'll chat for 1 second. That'll bring episode 108, Friday Night Lights interview with Manny at Lkd Treasures.
School Brothers out.
Peace.